So far this morning, the market is moving classically. The 10-year yields are up. That moves the dollar up in value. This in turn moves gold down and oil down, assuming there are no other factors because both of those are denominated in dollars. Of course, for oil, there is another factor, the Saudi squeeze. The higher interest rates are usually associated with hurting the value of growth stocks, so the NASDAQ is down, as are the Cathie Wood stocks. Tesla is outperforming and has been green most of the first 10 minutes or so. With all of these issues continuing in the same direction for days or weeks or months, will they continue to do so? That's the big question. Listen, I'm going to start naming a few names. Yep, it's true. Night Panther is my most faithful and longest term Patreon subscriber, followed closely by Craig J. and JD M. Thank you so much for being such a help to the show. You can help in many other ways. I'm going to talk about that at the end, a little partly personal at the end of the show today. The answer to my rhetorical question above is, of course, no. Everything will not continue in the same direction forever. Oil prices will not go to 300. They probably won't even go to 105. And the interest rates, well, let's talk about the interest rates for a minute. All of these things are going to hit some highs, and then they're going to reverse. That always happens 100% of the time. So my gut is telling me that we're getting very close to those interest rate maximums. I don't think we're going to continue to go much higher in terms of interest rates. What I'm talking about, of course, is treasuries, not what the Fed is going to do. The only possible explanation for a continuation higher at this point would be one of a couple of things. One would be the belief by the market that inflation really is still a problem. Because of oil prices, for instance. The other would be an inability of the market to buy all of the treasuries that are being foisted upon the market by the government because they need to fund this massive deficit, which is being exacerbated by the high interest rates. Well, tomorrow we're going to get some information about the inflation issue, and that might calm markets. The other issue is the one that does keep me up at night, the problem of the government overspending and of the interest rates adding to that problem, and the war in the Ukraine continuing to exacerbate the problem. But that bond issue, the long-term matter of whether there's enough wealth in the U.S. to continue to fund the U.S. government, those are long-term issues. They're not going to affect us very much in the short or medium term. All right. The general trend, however, plus the government shutdown, we'll talk about that in a minute, the UAW strike and the future Fed decisions has the fear gauge on the market completely maxed out right now. Every aspect of the fear gauge is maxed out. Generally, this is a time when markets are ready to turn, but certainly not always. So don't make your bet based on what I just said. But that's just one aspect of judging a market bottom or a market top. And we've got market tops and market bottoms, in my opinion. But here's the odd thing. The overall stock market is in really good shape, even with the fear gauge this high. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Well, the initial jobless claims are in, as they are every Thursday, and they came in around 204,000 new applications the past week. So that is a little bit higher than last week, which is 202,000, but still very low. And the overall trend right now is very, very low in that regard. That is very, very good in terms of expectations with regard to where the economy is going to go, which might have something to do with why the stock market is continuing to be okay, given everything else that's going on. The street estimates this week, we're looking for 215,000, so way off on street estimates. But does that stoke inflation concerns? Personally, no. I think that the labor market has really smoothed out, and a lot of other things are suggesting the same thing. Later today, we'll have GDP numbers. I'll report on those in the morning. Trueflation is up a teeny bit this morning, but we're still at 2.6. That's now almost 4 months. We're a week away from having 4 months under 2.6. The number has been flat, down, up, but always under 2.6 now since June 9th. Unless you think that Trueflation is completely wrong, and I don't. I have a lot of respect for the Trueflation approach. I have a lot of respect for their history and for what historically it has meant in terms of predicting the future numbers that are coming in from the government, from other agencies that are making these predictions. I think that the Trueflation does a great job, and that would suggest with 4 months under 2.6 that the PCE should come in pretty good shape tomorrow. Now, we also have the PCE having been good for the last 3 months. So this would be the 4th month, and the Fed has said they want 6 months of good PCE numbers in order to be ready to say the job has been done. So we're getting there. Maybe we'll see what happens tomorrow. Now, I don't normally cover X news, but there's no separating the various Elon Musk's economic, the Elon Musk economy is this big thing now, and you can't separate Twitter, what's happening at Twitter, from what's happening at any of the other companies or any of the other companies. They all affect one another. So I did feel that this was worthy of reporting this morning. Linda Yaccarino says that 90% of the top 100 advertisers are back in the fold, and that a total of 1,500 have returned. That 90% of the top 100 advertisers, those have come back just in the last couple of weeks or something. I forget the exact time, but a very short period of time. She has had an amazing impact, apparently, on these advertisers. She also says, look, I'm not just there to do the advertising. That's to get the advertisers back. That's not my job. She says, I'm working hand in glove, side by side with Elon with regard to all the decision-making. But anyway, she goes on to say that the company is now definitely at break even and will be in profits in early next year. I would say that this is just absolutely amazing, except Elon knows how to recognize genius. He knows how to pick players. He has picked Linda for a reason, and he doesn't miss very often in that regard. He's got the right talent apparently now on the team, and in general is making very wise decisions with regard to X. I mean, look at how he's getting these major X Spaces efforts accomplished. Yesterday, we saw, we're seeing more and more people coming to X as a place where they're going to put their content. People are asking me to put my content up on X. I'm putting more and more content up on X, but I am not in a position right now to abandon YouTube and go 100% X. We'll see what happens. Could happen. We'll see what happens. I'm still testing. Battle Rhodes Rose. That's the name of the guy. Rose from Battle Road, I guess I should say, upgraded Tesla to a buy. That could be part of the reason why Tesla's doing okay this morning. He sees the potential problems, but he points out in his report that Tesla is still the market-leading EV manufacturer by far, with new models coming out in the coming months and year and a half. I mean, we should see the model. We're going to see Cybertruck any day now, and we're going to see the next gen vehicle sometime in late 24 or early 25, especially if they're making it in Austin, which seems to be the case. So those things are coming very quickly. And so he sees there's no signs of ceding meaningful market share. Rose tells Barron's they are maniacally focused on maintaining and building market share, as evidenced by the price cuts. Tesla's market share of the U.S. EV sales in the first half of 2023 still north of 60%, and the competitors are not even close. Then this other group I've never heard of, maybe I have, and maybe I just don't remember, the Treffus team currently remains neutral on Tesla stock with a 263 price estimate, which is slightly ahead of the current market price. Another piece of good news this morning is that the bond inversion is unwinding, with the 10 yields up sharply and all the others down. alas, one day does not a trend make, and the opposite has been true for over a year and also over the last few weeks. So this is just one day of that trend, but it is a very sizable difference this morning. The unwinding, some people say it's the unwinding that actually shows that we're going to have the recession. So I don't know. I say no recession. 202,000 job people claiming unemployment for the first time this morning tells me no recession. I continue to believe no recession. I obviously could be wrong. This is just out. Just before I went on air, McCarthy is saying that the House will get a bill done to avoid the shutdown. So that could move the markets up a little bit this morning, although I don't think the markets worry too much about the government shutting down. I know I don't. So now I don't know how to take these different folks that are gauging U.S. inventory of Tesla cars. Some people say that they're really good. Some people say that they're not so good. But this morning, one of the individuals who is tracking it says that Tesla inventories are very, very low right now. Put up a graph and it's like fall off a cliff low. So that could mean, you've heard what I've been saying the last couple of days. If you watch this program all the time, is that I could see an inventory drawdown causing a beat on the shipment numbers next Monday, even though I don't think it'll have anything to do with the year end. So in other words, if we're down, if we beat on shipping on Monday, that'll be good for the stock. That'll be good. The stock will go up and everybody be thrilled. And then that'll help the numbers on the earnings report and everybody will be thrilled. And it will have a short-term, party. But it's not going to change anything for the fourth quarter because we're only going to make the same number of cars, and you need this 100,000 plus in inventory right now as a general rule. So I'm not terribly excited about it, except that it will, if that's true, if inventories are way down, that could mean that we're going to see a beat on the shipping side, although I don't think we'll see a beat on the production side, although you just never know because all this stuff is heavily guesswork. I don't care. Troy tests like even Troy is wrong by 5% sometimes. So where are we now? Let's take a look at the market. Tesla is up strongly at $2.50. The Dow Jones is now up. The NASDAQ is almost in the green. So the Dow is up 0.12%. NASDAQ is absolutely at 0.0000 precisely. The S&P is up 14.14%. Tesla is up almost a full percent. And then the rest of the Magnificent Seven are now mixed, heading toward the green, except for Amazon, which is down strongly. And don't know why. Okay, so that's interesting. The Cathy Woods. So I guess maybe McCarthy's statement might have helped. Not sure what else might be going on. Let's take a look at the other numbers. The Cathy Woods, again, are mixed, but they're also headed towards the green, except for CRISPR. Square, those are both down strongly right now. Okay, let's take a look at these other numbers and see if any of those are impacting why the market is now moving positively. Okay, so we have the Bitcoin up again today, 2 days in a row. We've got the dollar sticking near its 10-month high. We've got gold continuing down at 1890, way down. We've got oil down a bit this morning, but still almost 93 on Texas Intermediate. And we've got the bonds up, as I said earlier, at 4.675. I'm sorry, 4.657. That is way up. And we are still, again, seeing the 2-month down a teeny bit. The 2-year down strongly, and the 3-year, and the 3-month down, up, all this is changing as I'm saying it. So the 2-month is up slightly now, and the 3-month is down slightly now, but the 10-year is up strongly this morning. So that's none of that, none of the rest of the things that I've just gone over are impacting the stock market going in the right direction right now. But the market is continuing to go toward green. We'll see how that plays out over the rest of the morning. Let's now, I want to just once again, mention to you about that discussion I had with Brian White yesterday about Optimus. I think you'll enjoy it. Everybody seems to have really thought that we hit on some new stuff that nobody else is talking about. The card is right here. Then I want to thank all of you who support the channel in any way. It's been a really fun ride now. Almost, what are we at, 10 months? I think at the end of September, that'll be 10 months. We started on a roughly December 1st last year. You support the channel even if all you do is show up. Believe me, if you just show up consistently, commonly, and just watch, and the longer you watch, the better. Some people turn it off after 20 seconds. They who knows why. Other people watch for 2 minutes. The longer you watch, the more it helps. But you know what? If you watch it all, it's a help. And then if you do anything, if you hit like once in a while, or if you hit like a lot, that's a real big help. If you subscribe, if you choose to be notified, those things help the channel. Commenting is huge. It helps me. It helps YouTube if you want to help YouTube, but it helps the channel. And the comments also are inspiring. They help me to be inspired. They help me, and I like the folks who really dig in give me good information. In other words, well, here's the real argument, Randy. Here's another argument. Or what about this? In detail, those are the best kinds of comments. But whatever comments, well, I mean, actually, if I'm honest, the best comments are, Randy, you're amazing. You're great. Oh my gosh, how good anyway, so all of it helps. Now, if you really want to help, you can join Patreon at the $5 level and get a free book. If you really want to help, you can join at the $10 level and get 2 free books. If you really want to help, you can join at the $10 level and get yourself a free one of these lovely, amazing. I had somebody yesterday get their cyber, I'm forgetting what, cyber opener. They got their cyber opener. And he sends me an email. He goes, Randy, he says, this thing is great. I can think of so many people I'd like to give this to as a gift. What would my price be on 15? So, really, seriously, this is a solid gift item. It is amazing as something you might give to buyers, you might give to friends, you might give to anybody on your Christmas list. They're $25 a piece. I think you know the drill. You send your $25 to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase. All the information. Sometimes I forget to put it down there, and later on I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't put. Anyway, but hopefully I'll remember this morning, and it'll all be down below where you can find it. And if you want more, 10 or more, give me a holler. I am widely available. You can DM me on X. There's lots of ways to find me. If you need my email, just ask down below. I'll send you my email. All right, let's see. Is there anything else I need to say here? Larry should be coming on. We missed each other yesterday, unfortunately, but I should have Larry Goldberg on later. He says he's got a very exciting thing. And then Brian Wang has been at a conference all week where he's been learning all about fusion, nuclear fusion, the future of fusion, which I mentioned a few days ago. Microsoft has made a big bet on the future of fusion to manage their data centers, to give them the power necessary for their data centers. He is promising me a report on that, as well as LK99, which is not dead by any stretch of the imagination. So be ready to hear about that later. Okay, we'll see what happens the rest of today. It should be exciting.